Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here at my next YouTube video, and as you can see this is going to be my next toy slash action figure review. And this is obviously going to be a Kreo Transformers review, and it's going to be of the Transformers Kreo Micro Changers Combiners Predaking. And obviously with these you get 4 of the kind of minifigures, which themselves can you can build them into 2 different things, or all together you can form the combiner Predaking. And obviously 80 pieces. And the interesting thing about these, I suppose, is that these are Kreo's minifigs. So obviously they have the micro changer thing with the Transformers line, and this is just the different thing that Kreo are doing right now. Before they did the sets where you had to buy a big set to get one of the characters, like say the Optimus Prime Kreo minifigure. You had to buy the big Optimus Prime set that was pretty expensive just to get an Optimus Prime. Now they've actually switched to doing more focus on the minifigures. So this set here, you get 4 minifigures, all from the same combiner team and the combiner, and it's all for like €10 or less. Basically, I think it's $10 in America or stuff like that. That's the price of these sets, and they're really interesting. Now I suppose to just show off, I've also shown this. There's some cool art of the 4 characters on the side of the box. On the back it obviously explains what it's about, and then you can see here the other ones. So there's Superion, Bruticus, and Devastator. And I'm probably going to get these 3 when they kind of fully come out over here in Ireland. I got this one online, that's why I have it so soon. And the interesting thing is that this is considered Beast Hunters Kreo as well, because obviously Transformers Prime Beast Hunters has recently started, and though this technically, I suppose, these characters haven't yet appeared in the show and probably won't appear in the show, they are still considered part of the Beast Hunters toy line, which is interesting. And anyway, I've already opened this, but I'll show you what you get in this box. So just obviously you open it up there, and here's what you get. Basically, you get 5 bags of kind of pieces. One for each figure. I've obviously built them in their robot mode, and as you can see, you get the extra pieces are used for the transformation mode, so the beast mode for these guys. And you can see some of them have some of them have a decent amount of extra pieces. Some of them only have like 2. This guy only has 1 extra piece for his alternate mode. And then the 5th bag is parts that you use to build the combiner, plus a red brick to kind of display one of the figures on, stand them on. You get a sticker sheet, which I've already applied the stickers to. Of the figures, the only piece that you have to put a sticker on is this piece. You can see a Decepticon logo there. And then the rest of them mainly just go on pieces like this that make up the sides of the legs to add some extra detail. So the stickers aren't that bad, like there's not too many of them. You get the usual Hasbro kind of license and safety thing that I don't think anyone reads. And then you get the instruction booklet, which obviously tells you how to make them and stuff like that. But yep, that's the boring part, I suppose. What you really want to see is the figures, and I'll start off with going through them in their robot modes as they are here, and kind of just show off what they're like. And we start off with Razor Claw here, who I believe is basically the leader of the Predacons. And as you can see here, very interesting design with the kind of large helmet piece. As you can see here, here's a better look at his face. Pretty cool. Like I love to look at these Transformers Kreo minifigs. He has a huge gun, which basically means he's the leader. Gets a sword as well, so gun and sword. It's always cool. And then he has a nice kind of fabric piece here to kind of give him that extra look, further showing he's the leader. And obviously you can sort of see a beast head in his when you turn his thing this way. And I suppose the other thing, this is the only minifig in this set of 4 where they get this kind of chest piece, the kind of flak jacket piece that a lot of other Kreo figures use. But the problem, as I'll show you here, just take this apart temporarily, is that underneath this piece, as you can see, I just took it off, he actually has some really nice detail on his chest, and this bit actually just obscures that when you put it over it, because this piece is needed to keep the cape on. But what you can do if you want to, and I'm probably going to do this later on, is you can actually just get like a knife like this, and basically just cut the front half of this off, and you can see there's a decent amount of plastic, so you can do it. It's pretty thin plastic, so you just cut it off there, and you can have the proper chest detail while keeping the back piece. And I think Kreo have done this with a few of their other figures in like the blind packs, but I think they're getting away from doing that now as they go into like wave 2 of the combiners and stuff like that. So this isn't really that big of a problem anymore, I don't think. It's just on these kind of initial waves of them. So yeah, there he is. You just use a piece kind of connected to there to keep that on, and the one extra piece you get with him is just this, which keeps some of the bits together in the mode. The second guy here, his name is Torox, and let's show off him. So obviously you can see he comes with a black sword this time. It's probably my favourite looking sword of them. It just looks pretty cool. He has this kind of weird gun thing that's kind of created from Lego parts that are used in the beast mode. And then as you can see, he has a horn here to kind of make his beast head look more like a rhino. But I'll show off that later. You can see his chest detail is a bit different than the leader. It's more mechanical, classic Transformers looking. The head sculpt is kind of the same, using the red visor and the cheeky grin. And obviously this is a Decepticon team, so these are kind of bad guys. And the Predacons themselves, these guys are basically, I think, this elite group of kind of Autobot hunters. I think that's the kind of character that they are in most things. And there. So as you can see, this guy doesn't have any sort of back piece, so there's nothing on his back, and that doesn't obscure the chest detail. So that's Torox. And with him you get these extra pieces. Obviously you get this one. You do get one of these pieces. You could put this on his back if you wanted to in this mode, and maybe attach some of the pieces on to store them, and these two black pieces as well. Next we have Headlock here. So you can see him here. He's also got a gun, but I think this one looks a little bit better than the other guy's gun, because it's a bit more simple. It's just one piece and then these two guns on it. There's a sword, black, and this guy has two of these black pieces to make horns, so it looks kind of like a ball. And then his chest detail again is a bit different. It's kind of like got a grating pattern here, metal grating, and a little bit of detail here, and some printing on the legs like the other ones have. So yeah, just a lack of back printing, I suppose, is the only negative on him. And then with him, you get one of these kind of jacket pieces, but it's not meant to be used in the robot mode, but it is used for the beast mode. And then you get these two pieces I've just linked together here as well. And then finally, there is Dive Bomb. And as you can see here, it looks very different to the rest of them. He's the only flyer of the group, obviously. He's got the wing things on his shoulders. Got a gun. And no sword for this guy, which is interesting. He's the only one who doesn't have a sword. Once again, they like the rest of them, they all have whoa. As you can see there, they all have the red optics, and this guy is the only one with a black headpiece. And you can see he's got a slightly different color scheme to the rest of them, but still having stuff like the red kind of torso area. And again, he's got nothing on his back either, but he has a ton of extra pieces, as you can see here. He's got this claw, back piece, and some other bits as well to use. So they actually come with a decent amount of extra bits that like aren't used in the robot mode, but overall they're making a nice kind of group as like 4 things. It's really good. But yeah, I'll be back in a minute after I transform these guys into their beast modes, and then I'll show off their beast modes, and then I'll show off the combined mode. Okay, I'm back now, and I've switched these guys into their beast modes. And let's start with Razor Claw. And as you can see now that he's in beast mode, basically what you do with them is, with him you switch the position of the kind of cape bit from the back to here, and then you add in the new bit here on the back with the gun, and the jacket bit that I kind of complained about earlier on is actually used around the legs, which is interesting. And then you get this kind of, I assume it's meant to be some form of a kind of cat, because the name's Razor Claw. Then obviously you got the cannon on the back, and just like obviously when you place it down like that, it's meant to look like that. It's not the best. Obviously, it's a good attempt for like a minifigure and only using a few pieces. That's pretty nice. And then the only bit that's not used is the sword, obviously, because it's an animal now and not a kind of robot. But the second one I'm going to go to is Torox. And obviously he, kind of in this mode, is a rhino, I assume. And again, it's sort of the same deal in that you, with this time, you add in the bit that wasn't used around the kind of neck to put this bit on the back, and that's where the Decepticon logo goes, and it has the kind of cannons there, and obviously the horn comes into play a bit more now that it's a rhino looking thing. Again, nice use of the other bits on the back to kind of give it some weaponry apart from the kind of horn thing. And then the other bits not used are the horn and then the handle from the gun in robot mode. Then we come to Headlock, who obviously is a bull from what it seems. Again, the same sort of thing, like you just kind of lie them down like this, guns on the back, using the kind of flak jacket piece on the legs as opposed to the neck this time, and then you have the kind of movable guns up and down at the back. The only problem I suppose I have with these ones, where they're like just lying like this, is that they very much look like robot arms. The legs I suppose aren't too bad, but definitely with these pieces they look like robot arms. But it's okay. I like the horns really help distinguish them, because obviously you have the 2 horns at the sides here for the bull, the 1 horn for the kind of rhino, and then the kind of no horn for the cat or something like that. Now finally we have Dive Bomb, who's very different to the rest of them. Looks like this. Obviously it's some form of like pterodactyl kind of thing, dinosaur. Obviously the talons here meant to be the kind of legs, and then the tail, so it's all pointy, gun on the back again, and then the shoulder pieces are used as wings in this case. The only problem I have here is that the helmet doesn't actually look like an animal that much. If it did, if it had a head that was kind of more similar to this, where it had a bit more detail, it would have worked very well. But the good thing about this guy is that he uses all the pieces. There's no spare pieces with this guy in this mode, so that's pretty cool for him. The only problem is like you just look on the underside of most of them and you can see their heads. But for minifigures using about 4 parts, like, and then like on the just a kind of piece on the back, they're actually reasonably well done. And like for the price, especially getting like in this set 9 different figures, 8 of which I've kind of covered, the robot modes and the vehicle modes, or in this case beast modes, because they're Predacons and not kind of vehicles. But I'm going to cover that 9th mode now. I'm going to cut again, and then I'm going to come back with the combined Predaking mode, which is obviously the bit that you probably buy this set for. Okay, so here is Predaking in his combined form. And I suppose I'll just start off with the pieces left over. You can see there is one of the sets of arms of one of the characters. One of these. 2 of the swords from them. One of the smallest gun. These 2 flak jacket things, and Then two of the kind of limb pieces that they give you spare. I assume they give you these spares just in case maybe like one of the pieces isn't is loose or something like that, and you have a better chance of getting a tighter piece in that case. And of course there's this bit, which is mainly just used to display one or two of your crayons. Anyway, here is the combined form of Predaking. He's really nice actually. Like you can see he just uses like one of the standard kind of crayon heads with one of the things. But the interesting thing is that like it's the face from Razor Claw, but the kind of helmet from Thorax, and then obviously use the other heads on the kind of shoulder here, and they make his kind of shoulders really defined, and then you can see the you can see the legs are kind of used as fingers using the pointy bits, which are basically the rhino and bull horns. And then in this hand, obviously, he's holding one of the long sword, and then in this hand, he's got the gun on the shoulder and stuff like that. And it's a really interesting build, actually, because as I said, you pretty much take them apart like bit by bit. As you can see here, the feet are actually just two characters minus their heads, kind of sitting down with kind of these things as toes, and then 2x2 pieces to make their feet flat. I suppose it would be interesting maybe if they made a piece where like you could take off the arms, and then it was a bit more of a flat piece that didn't just look like it was arms hanging off the side. Then obviously one of the knees uses one of those pointy bits, and then the other knee uses the tail from Dive Bomb. And it's really cool actually, because there's actually a decent amount of articulation on these guys because of the joints, and that like there's a kind of pretty nice ball joint here. It's not like incredible ball joint, but you know, up and down. It's obviously got a swivel here for the shoulders, and you can sort of, because of the legs here, you can obviously move the little fingers around a bit, and because the waist is kind of plugged in here, you can swivel it as well. And then in the center, obviously the waist swivels because it is a normal waist. The knees bend, ball joints at the waist again, and that's pretty much it. And obviously there's there's ankle movement as well because of the way they're done. So because of the way it uses like the minifigure joints, as well as kind of adding in these kind of joints for the knees and elbows, it makes this guy actually really poseable and really nice figure. But I'll just show a kind of brief size comparison to let you know how tall this guy is. Here he is next to a standard crayon. This one's Bumblebee. So you can see it's like 1, 2, maybe 3 times the size of one crayon. So that's pretty impressive, like really cool actually. And then I'll just add in here, there's a deluxe Transformer. This is a Transformers Prime Wheeljack. So you can see for kind of about half the price of a deluxe, you get a reasonably sized character here. And then obviously there's these pieces left over too. And obviously the aim of this red bit is to kind of display the character like that on this kind of Kreo brick. But yeah, Predaking is actually really cool. I was a bit surprised at how complicated the build was, how nice the build was for Predaking. Obviously the minifigures are simple to make in both modes, but I was surprised with how much you took everything apart to make Predaking. He's really interesting here. Just zoom in there, you can see the face a bit better, and it's just really nice looking because they use the really characterful parts from all the characters, like the helmet. All the helmets are used to make the shoulders. They also use one of the helmets on the chest to make the chest really shine, and the fabric bit is used here. These like orange bit for the waist panels, and obviously, oh, whoops, fell over. Just feet aren't flat yet. And then obviously just stuff like on the feet, the little technical panel details used for the chest details, and these guys used to make leg details here. So very impressed with these Kreo microchanger combiners. These guys, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing these guys in stores and getting like a Superion here, Bruticus and Devastator. Really looking forward to these guys, the aerial bots Superion, because they're all jets. That should be pretty cool. And obviously Bruticus is interesting in that they're all different ones, and that there's like a helicopter in there, a tank and stuff like that, so that's interesting. And then obviously construction vehicles and Devastator, so they're all pretty interesting in that like they're all different kind of sets. These guys are the beasts, there's a set of jets and all that. It's so I highly recommend these guys actually if you see them in stores. They're maybe, because of shipping and stuff like that, a bit too much to get online, but if you see these guys in stores for the like standard price of like $8 to $10 or euros, definitely pick at least one of them up. Pick up your favorite one because they're pretty cool. Just to have like one of them, like then there's many ways to display them. Like you display it in combined mode, displayed them all in robot mode or in beast mode. So there's a lot of stuff to do with them, and of course they're basically compatible with Lego and Mega Bloks, so they add to your piece count as well because there's some interesting pieces here and stuff like that. So a lot of interesting stuff here, but yep. So thank you for watching this review, and bye.